So, let's look at the summer of Punk. What happened after CM Punk dropped that infamous pipe bomb, beat John Cena for the championship in a 5-star match at Money in the Bank, then left the WWE, never to come back. What happened? He came back 8 whole days later. In his absence, John Cena had become the champion, again, so there was a champion versus champion match for the title at SummerSlam, which CM Punk won. Not clean because John Cena's foot were in the ropes, but who cares? CM Punk won. Yes, the summer of Punk can begin. Although, wait, no, hang on a second. Kevin Nash arrives, and instead of tearing both quads, he picks CM Punk up and powerbombs him and leaves, presumably to tear both quads in the comfort of his own home, as is his right. Then Del Rio cashes in on CM Punk and walks away from SummerSlam as the champion. Oh, but I thought it was the summer. At the next pay-per-view, Del Rio then drops the title to John Cena. Wait, what was CM Punk doing? Oh, that's right. At Night of Champions, he was facing Triple H and losing. Because Triple H thinks it's as prestigious to be in the ring as him as it is to hold the WWE Championship. It's not.
Great question. I don't know who it helped. And the point was personal issues overriding logical, common sense business. And that's the personality side of pro wrestling. Triple H does not have the exclusive on those type matters. It's just the fact he's very, very visible. He has a lot of influence, and that's simply how it is. I don't know that if Triple H was in the position then that he is now, I think he would look at CM Punk entirely differently, quite frankly, because as a booker, creator, whatever, top administrator of a brand like Triple H is with NXT, you don't cut your nose off to spite your face. You have to learn to work with people. And as Vince, I'm sure Vince has told Triple H this. He's told me plenty of times. And any of the guys that are listening, we have a lot of WWE people listen to our show, and a lot of former agents and so forth. In WWE, you have to learn to like the taste of shit. Because as an administrator, you're constantly in a position of eating shit to get the match in the ring and taking care of these talents. And in today's world, in the big picture scenario, I got to believe that Triple H would covet CM Punk because he's, here's the deal. How do you think that the NXT would do in the ratings if they had a debut of CM Punk back on NXT on Wednesday nights? Is that a get? Goddamn right it's a get. That's a big challenge to overcome. So I think the logic used back then is different. The maturity, everybody's matured more, and in the big picture sense, you can't get enough CM Punks on your roster, in my opinion.
The match at Night of Champions received a mixed reception, with Wrestling Observer newsletter fans voting it simultaneously the best and worst match of the night, which Dave Meltzer reported was the first in the publication's history. Meltzer awarded the match 3 3/4 stars, noting that he'd heard a lot of fan negativity based on Triple H going over Punk, but given the stipulation, there was no other finish possible. But being as Triple H was fired as COO less than a month later anyway, that doesn't appear to be the case. Writing for The Sun, Rob McNichol praised the match, but noted that the repeated interference more closely resembled the booking of WCW or TNA than a WWE main event match. In the years that have passed, this angle and this match's booking have been increasingly criticized, with fans accusing Triple H of coming out of retirement just to bury Punk. While Punk was obviously protected in the finish to the match, which saw him take 3 pedigrees before the pinfall, a loss of this magnitude at this stage in his push was a huge step backwards. CM Punk himself admitted that shortly before he departed the WWE, he ripped into Triple H for cutting off his momentum in this feud. The victory at Night of Champions did nothing to benefit Triple H, but could have significantly elevated Punk, who at this point had nothing but 3 screwjob wins over John Cena to hang his hat on. In a later interview, Triple H acknowledged that this storyline didn't work, but claimed that the decisions made along the way were Vince McMahon's, and that they were made with good intentions. Among the internet wrestling community, and even his own employees, Vince McMahon has a bit of a Willy Wonka reputation. He could wake up tomorrow and decide that WrestleMania should take place underwater, or all the wrestlers need to start smoking, and no one would even bat an eye. There's even a phrase that gets thrown around for these types of decisions: Vince being being Vince. But for everyone else, it's hard to understand the reasoning here. Why would the WWE take their only wrestler to get over in years and beat him into the ground? Following Night of Champions, Punk ate the pin in a triple threat match against Del Rio and Cena at Hell in the Cell. The next month at Vengeance, he teamed with Triple H to take the loss in a tag match against The Miz and R-Truth. Finally, at Survivor Series, Punk defeated Del Rio to win back the WWE Championship. He never got a rematch with Triple H and never had a match with Kevin Nash at all. Nash returned in December and was defeated by Triple H instead. On the bright side, Punk's title run was one of the longest in modern history, lasting 434 days. But during that time frame, he main evented only 5 of the 14 pay-per-views, with the WWE Championship taking the backseat to matches such as John Cena vs. Kane, John Cena vs. The Big Show, and John Cena vs. John Laurinaitis. Punk dropped the title to The Rock at Royal Rumble 2013 and went on to lose to The Undertaker at WrestleMania 29. He was defeated by Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam that year, but came out ahead in a feud with Ryback, and even managed to defeat all 3 members of the Shield in a handicap match at TLC 2013. Following the 2014 Royal Rumble, CM Punk walked out on the company due to concerns about his health and numerous other grievances. Aside from a short, unsuccessful run as a UFC fighter, Punk has spent the last few years semi-retired, working on non-wrestling related projects here and there. His current relationship with the WWE makes any sort of return in the near future seem unlikely, but both sides claim to never say never, so we'll just have to wait and see. As for now, as far as the WWE is concerned, Punk's name lives on only as a chant of protest.
So what happens at the next pay-per-view? Surely CM Punk gets it back. No, Del Rio gets it back after pinning Punk in a triple threat. But at the next pay-per-view, at Vengeance, CM Punk teams with Triple H to face R-Truth and The Miz, and he's the one who gets pinned. And then, at Survivor Series, CM Punk finally wins the championship. He beats Del Rio for the gold, and he becomes WWE champion. And the WWE are like, yes! Come on, guys! Summer of Punk! And we're like, it's November, what happened? And they're like, oh, would you like some of these new flipper toys? You press them and they go da 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 da. So the WWE took a wrestler that was white hot and they had him lose on 3 consecutive pay-per-views. I mean, WWE, this is why you're not allowed to play with the other children.